All right, today we are cracking open an absolute legend of a book. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And honestly, it's pretty much the OG of success manuals. We're going to take all of its amazing, time-tested wisdom and boil it down into a simple blueprint that you can start using, well, right now.
And it all starts with this one idea. Seriously, if you only remember one thing, make it this. Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. It's a huge promise, right? It basically says the only things holding you back are the limits you build inside your own head. This is the master key to everything else we're about to unlock.
And look, this is not some fly-by-night self-help trend. We're talking about a book that's been changing lives since 1937. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years, you heard that right, 20 years studying the most successful people on the planet, guys like Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford. He wanted to know if they had some kind of secret sauce, a common thread that tied them all together.
So what was it? What was the secret that he uncovered that is still so incredibly powerful today? Well, it all kicks off with one very simple but totally game-changing idea. Here it is, the foundation of the entire book. Your thoughts aren't just thoughts. They're not just these random little things floating around in your head. When you really focus them, they have actual power to create your reality. Like Hill says, truly, thoughts are things. And there's this one story in the book that just nails this point perfectly. So picture this guy, Edwin C. Barnes. On the surface, a totally normal dude. But he had this one idea that wasn't just an idea. It was an obsession. It took over everything. And his goal? Oh, it was nuts. Absolutely out there. He didn't just want a job with the legendary Thomas Edison. No, he wanted to be his business partner. Think about how crazy that must have sounded to everyone around him. Get this. Barnes had nothing, zero money. He literally had to hop a freight train just to get to Edison's town. He didn't know a soul, had no amazing skills to offer, but he had the one thing Hill says matters most, a burning desire. He showed up, took a low-level job, but never ever took his eye off the prize. And years later, Edison gave him his chance. And he didn't just succeed, he became incredibly rich because of it. And boom, that's the lesson right there in Hill's own words. It's not about just any random thought. It's a thought that's laser-focused on a single goal, mixed with a refusal to ever give up and fueled by that burning desire. That's the magic formula that turns an idea into reality. Okay, so we know a burning desire is the starting line, but how do you actually build a desire that strong and point it in the right direction? Well, this is where Hill stops being a philosopher and becomes a coach. He gives us a literal, step-by-step recipe for turning that intense want into actual, real-world results. Now, the secret here is how specific this is. Step 1, be precise. Know the exact amount of money you want, down to the penny. No fuzzy goals. 2, nothing is free. Decide exactly what you're going to give in return for that money. Your time, an idea, your services. 3, give yourself a deadline. A goal needs a due date. 4, make a plan. Any plan. And, this is huge, start right now. Don't wait, just go. 5, write it all down. Get it out of your head and onto paper. Make it real. And finally, step 6, read that statement out loud, twice a day. You do this to hammer it into your subconscious mind until you can literally see and feel yourself already having it. And hey, if you're thinking this all sounds a little out there, just remember who gave Hill this formula. It was Andrew Carnegie, the guy who started from scratch and built a steel empire that made him one of the wealthiest people in the history of the world. So yeah, I'd say the method has a pretty good track record. So we've got the 6 steps, which is our action plan. But for that plan to actually work, to really have some horsepower behind it, Hill says you need to build it on top of 3 core mindsets. Think of these as the 3 giant pillars holding up your entire journey to success. Pillar number 1 is desire. And yeah, we've talked about this, but it's so important to get the difference. This isn't just hoping or wishing for something. Hill is talking about a desire that's so deep and so powerful it becomes an obsession. In a good way. It's what you think about all day, every day. The second pillar is faith. Now, this just means having a rock-solid, absolute belief that you will get what you're going after. It's not hope, it's certainty. It's about training your brain, tricking your subconscious mind into believing that your success isn't just possible, it's inevitable. And the third pillar, the one that makes it all happen, is persistence. This is the engine. This is what you do when things get tough. Hill makes it super clear. Most people fail because they quit too soon. But if you have persistence, if you just keep going, you become almost unbeatable. Because, as he says, failure just can't cope with persistence. So you've got the plan, you've got the pillars holding it up. The last piece of this whole puzzle is what's going on between your ears. You have to be the master of your own mind. Because in the end, your success or failure really just comes down to the thoughts you choose to focus on.
You basically got two options. You can let your mind fill up with thoughts of doubt, fear, and why things won't work out. Hill calls this a failure consciousness. Or you can make a choice. You can deliberately fill your mind with your goal, with belief, with purpose, and create what he calls a success consciousness. And here's the bottom line, you have to choose. Success consciousness doesn't happen by accident. You have to build it on purpose.
So we've laid it all out. The big idea, the step-by-step plan, the mindset you need. You've got the core blueprint right here. So, now what? What's your first move?
This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Wishing gets you nothing. It's passive. What works is being active. It's having a real plan, fueled by that burning desire we talked about, and pushing it forward with unstoppable persistence. That's the trifecta.
So there you have it. The blueprint is in your hands. It's been tested for decades by the most successful people in the world. The only thing left in this whole equation is you. It's your decision. The question isn't what's the secret anymore. The real question is, what do you want so badly that you're willing to use this blueprint to get it? What are you going to demand from life?